We are listening to IBGR.network. IBGR is a call sign as a radio station, but we are more than a radio station. We are, of course, a network. And I'm your host, Jan Roberts, Global Influencer. This is episode 8. Business meetings, are they a necessary evil? In our people skills lane, people skills for success. You can go down to our website at www.ibgr.network and download the show notes. Well, this is an exciting day because today, for the first time, we're actually trying to go completely live, not just with the radio, but even with people calling in. And I am so happy that one of my dear friends from Denmark, yes, we're in 146 countries, including Denmark, and he's on the line just now, so we're gonna try this out. And Mikael, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Mikael from Denmark, he's a dear friend of mine. We have amazing discussions every single week. We never know where they go, but Mikael, talk to us. How is your day going?
It is going great. It is 12:30 here in Denmark now, Central European time.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who we're talking to, so it's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're certainly talking to me. That's a good start, and I always love it when you talk to me.
Thank you. Same. Right back at you, my friend. Just listening to the thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's going.
Oh yeah, get a little bit of an echo, but.
Yeah. And I have no idea who we're talking to, so it's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world.
Okay, I now have Mikael. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, I can hear an echo from somebody's recording, which is a bit later. We'll work on that. But yeah, so how about meetings, Mikael?
Well, meetings, I think, in regards to necessary evil, yes. If we consider them being evil, I think we'll have a hard time running a good business meeting, or any meeting for that matter. But one thing that came to mind while you were talking is actually what would happen if we begin with the end in mind, i.e. what would happen if we looked what we want from the meeting when we leave the meeting, what is supposed to be changed during the meeting and changed after the meeting. So begin with the end in mind. I think that could actually help a lot of people be more intentional about how to conduct the meeting and how to run the agenda of that meeting.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. As you said right at the beginning there, you know that a necessary evil. I just a bit of tongue in cheek because I think there's so many people when we're in business meetings, so many people actually see them as a necessary evil, and I want to debunk that and say why they're important. And as you said as well, if just now very important, if you're listening at IBGR.network and around the world. Mikael from Denmark is on just now, and he just said something very wise, which he always does, and that's why I listen so much to him. But he talks about that, begin with, it's Stephen Covey's, of course, begin with the end in mind. And in our conversation earlier, you also mentioned about being more intentional. Talk into that, Mikael.
Yes, I think if we begin with the end in mind, and we want to look at what the outcome should be, the results of the meetings, we then intentionally can set the agenda for the meeting and figure out who to invite, how to involve them, what information they need, and how to inspire them, so they actually come into a meeting where everybody is on the same page, and maybe be more creative and innovative during the meeting. And one thing that I know also from that I've seen Google do is that they actually begin the meeting with the material that they're going to discuss. So everybody starts by reading through the material or the agenda for the day. They use around 10 minutes for that. So everybody's on the same page after those 10 minutes. I think it's a brilliant idea to set up the meeting.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, strangely enough, somewhere along the line, if I get a chance, I'll cover this as well. But exactly that, have an agenda and go through the agenda. The meeting host should go through the agenda with everybody else. Exactly what you said already, and you haven't even read my show notes yet. So I mean, it's wonderful to hear this from somebody who's had experience. And again, if you're just listening in, I'm just talking live with my friend Mikael Korsgaard in Denmark. And we're now in 146 countries around the world. And to have Mikael on my first live person is an absolute privilege and a pleasure, because I really respect him a lot. And thank you, Mikael, for talking into this. And I hope you'll stay with us for a while longer. I've got somebody else who's just come on, and as if I want to cover any of my show, which is not important. What is important is the viewer, and especially when you're already talking to some of the areas I was going to cover anyway. So thank you really very much for being that first person and stepping up and coming live on the show here. I appreciate you fully. So I hope to speak to you soon anyway.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
And you too. Take care, my friend. And then we have Arthi on as well. Did Arthi just come on, or?
Hello.
Okay, Arthi, all the way, my fellow show host, my fellow, my partner and my business partner, all the way from South Africa, who's on later on this today as well. But Arthi, great to have you on as my.
Arthi's here. There we go.
Yeah.
Exciting to be here. I'm loving the show so far.
Good.
I actually think this is so stunning. This is fantastic that we can actually call in and harass Jan, all our other show hosts.
Yeah.
No more scripts, right? This is unscripted and fun and exciting, and I think it's going to be brilliant to have everybody come in and give in their input. I'm loving this. One of the things I wanted to talk into, Jan, is that when you and I do meetings together,
yeah,
one of the things you've always spoken about that really makes sense is intentionality.
Yeah.
And I think that being intentional in what is the outcome that you want from the meeting makes a massive difference to the success of the meeting. Like Mikael just said, you need to be prepared and you need to understand, have the end in mind. But what I love about, being an entrepreneur is sometimes we forget the fact that we go in for a sale. And I was thinking that might be, what are your thoughts on that, where people actually misuse a meeting looking for a sale rather than relationship building? What are your ideas on that?
Oh, well, that's a brilliant question. And as I said, Mikael mentioned it, and now you mentioned it as well. I don't know if you heard him. You obviously did, because you mentioned it. But intentionality is, of course, something. And a meeting, that's not a place to have a sale. A sales meeting is something totally different. And if you're going to have a meeting with a client to have a sale, but we're not talking about that. If you go in there just with the intention of selling, I think it should be the other way around, because you can do a lot more if you go with the intention of connecting with people. Because, if you've been in sales, you've heard this before, people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And how can you start to trust people is by building relationships. So, great question. Do you go in and just go for the sale? We've all heard about the door-to-door salesman. You open the door and, hi, do you want to buy this? No. There is, even in networking, BNI, the founder of BNI has actually got an amazing series, which I cover in one of the networking ones later on this season, where he even talks into that. You need to build a relationship first before you can actually and gain credibility before you actually can look at profitability. So I think credibility before profitability probably will cover exactly that. I hope that answers your question.
Well, it does. And I also believe that, in some of the things you spoke about earlier, you spoke about the different types of meetings.
Yeah.
What I've found from experience is that people are so desperate to gain that connection, to gain an into an organization or with people, that they also do not prepare well in working out whether that's the right person to meet.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that intentionality can also go to the point of, doing your homework and researching, is this the right person, the right decision maker? And I also feel intentionality helps us to, I think, be more aware of our self-worth. And I know a lot of people won't understand what that means when it comes to meetings.
No.
But if you really build your self-confidence, your self-worth, your ability to speak clearly, so there's clarity in your intention, you will then choose to make sure that you ask for the meeting, or you demand a meeting where the right people are sitting in the room, And when you present, it is for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And that is how we get these quality outcomes that people look for. And that is how you can have meetings that are shorter, so that they're not long-winded, where we're trying to showcase all of the products and services and we bore people. And I feel that, I mean, your topic's really, really important because it's all about engagement.
Yeah.
How do you engage people in a meeting? And that's a big one.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
what you're saying there really is also, you know, it's about the quality of the meeting, but also the quality of people. So we need to do our homework, but we also need to recognize the quality of ourselves first, because, you know, you can't give, as you would say, you can't give what you don't got. But you know, and we need to touch hard with other people if we really want to have long-term relationships and long-term profitability. Then we need to start connecting better with other people at a totally different level than just because you want the sale.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arthi. We're moving on. We're nearly at the end of this session already. How time flies. So thank you very much, and very shortly I will go into my my next advert time. So, you know, we're going to have a little break very shortly. So thank you both, Mikael and Arthi. How this time flies, and that's why I said I haven't even covered what I thought I was going to cover, but the importance is that we cover what people are wanting, what people are talking about, and what is important to the people who come to the radio show. So will it be you next? Will I be talking to you next? Will I be talking to you next week? Come and join us and find out, and I look forward to hearing from you. So take care.